Have you ever paused to ponder on the importance of self-love in your life? A question that seems simple, yet carries a profound depth that many of us often neglect to explore. Self-love, a concept so vital, so intrinsic to our well-being, yet so often overlooked in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. Now let's embark on a journey towards understanding the true essence of self-love. Self-love isn't just about treating yourself to your favorite dessert or taking a day off work. It's about truly accepting yourself, embracing your strengths and weaknesses, cherishing your individuality, and valuing your worth. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with images of perfection, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves with others. But the truth is, each one of us is unique, with our own set of strengths and weaknesses, and it's this uniqueness that makes us who we are. So why not celebrate it? Yet, there's a misconception that needs to be addressed. Some people equate self-love with narcissism or selfishness. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Self-love is not about thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about acknowledging your worth and not settling for less than you deserve. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing your needs. It's about treating yourself with kindness and compassion. Self-love is the foundation upon which we build healthy relationships, not just with others, but with ourselves as well. It's the key to cultivating a positive mindset, boosting our self-esteem, and fostering personal growth. It's about finding peace within ourselves, regardless of the chaos around us. So let's start this journey together. A journey towards understanding, appreciating, and nurturing the most important relationship you'll ever have, the relationship with yourself. Self-love isn't about vanity. It's about understanding and appreciating yourself for who you are. And remember, you are enough. You are worthy. You are deserving of love and kindness, especially from yourself. Imagine a young man named Eric who, like many of us, struggled with self-love. Eric was a regular guy, living an ordinary life but was burdened with a heavy heart. He was always the first to extend love and kindness to others, but when it came to himself, he was often his own worst critic. He had a constant internal dialogue that was filled with doubt and self-deprecation. This started to affect his confidence, his relationships, and even his health. His journey towards self-love began on a cold winter morning when he looked at himself in the mirror and realized that he was exhausted. Exhausted from the constant self-criticism, from the relentless quest for perfection, and from the unending pressure to be someone he wasn't. He knew something had to change, so Eric decided to embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-love. It was not an easy path. There were days when he fell back into old patterns, days when the familiar voice of self-doubt echoed louder than ever. But he was determined. He was determined to find his worth, to embrace his flaws, and to love himself unconditionally. The first step was to quiet the negative self-talk. He started to consciously replace the negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Instead of belittling his mistakes, he began to view them as learning experiences. He swapped self-judgment with self-acceptance, and self-criticism with self-compassion. Next, he focused on self-care. He started to prioritize his physical health, his mental well-being, and his emotional stability. He began to eat healthier, exercise regularly, and meditate daily. He started to spend more time doing the things he loved, and less time worrying about the opinions of others. Then, Eric tackled his relationships. He realized that he was often settling for less, simply because he didn't think he deserved better. He decided to surround himself with people who respected him, valued him, and treated him with the same kindness and love he extended to them. He distanced himself from toxic relationships and started to build healthier ones. Through this journey, Eric experienced a transformation. He felt lighter, happier, and more fulfilled. He started to accept his imperfections, to celebrate his achievements, and to appreciate his worth. He was no longer a prisoner of his own self-doubt, but a beacon of self-love. The impact of self-love on Eric's life was profound. He was more confident, more resilient, and more content. He was better at handling stress, at overcoming obstacles, and at bouncing back from failures. He was more successful in his career, more fulfilled in his relationships, and more at peace with himself. But perhaps the most beautiful change was in how he viewed himself. He no longer saw a man full of flaws and shortcomings, but a man full of potential and value. He no longer sought validation from others, but found it within himself. He was no longer defined by his past mistakes, but by his present worth. Eric's story is a testament to the transformative power of self-love. His journey from self-doubt to self-love was not an easy one, but it was worth every step. It is a story of resilience, of courage, and of transformation. It is a story that reminds us that self-love is not a luxury, but a necessity. It is a story that inspires us to embark on our own journey of self-love, to embrace our worth, and to be kinder to ourselves, because just like Eric, we too are deserving of our own love. You may ask, what makes self-love so powerful? Well, let's dive into the fascinating world of psychology and neuroscience to understand why. Self-love is not just about feeling good about yourself, it's a complex interplay of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that form the bedrock of our mental health. When we practice self-love, we're actually rewiring our brains to foster greater resilience, optimism, and emotional flexibility. This is because self-love activates the release of feel-good hormones like oxytocin and serotonin, which help to reduce stress and anxiety. And the effects don't stop at our personal happiness. Self-love also influences how we interact with others. Studies have shown that people who have a high level of self-love tend to form healthier relationships. They're more likely to set boundaries, communicate their needs effectively, and respond to conflict in constructive ways. This is because self-love fosters a secure sense of self, which allows us to connect with others without fearing rejection or loss of identity. Furthermore, self-love has a profound impact on our overall quality of life. A study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that individuals who practice self-love show higher levels of life satisfaction and well-being. They're more likely to pursue their passions, take care of their physical health, and make choices that align with their values and goals. But it's important to remember that self-love is not a destination, but a journey. It's not about achieving a state of perfection, but about embracing our imperfections and learning to be kind to ourselves despite our flaws and mistakes. In essence, self-love is a form of self-care that goes beyond pampering ourselves with bubble baths or indulgent treats. It's about cultivating a compassionate relationship with ourselves that fosters a sense of peace, fulfillment, and resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Indeed, self-love is more than just a feel-good concept. It's a fundamental aspect of human psychology. Now that we understand the importance of self-love, how do we cultivate it? This question is essential, and the answer lies within each of us. It's not just about feeling good about ourselves, it's about recognizing our own worth and taking actions that reflect this understanding. Firstly, let's talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the moment, aware of our thoughts and feelings without distraction or judgment. It's about paying attention to yourself, your body, your mind. Mindfulness allows you to listen to your needs, to understand what your body and mind are telling you. It's like tuning into a radio frequency that's been playing quietly in the background. Suddenly you can hear the music, the rhythm, the lyrics. You become aware of your own melody. Next, let's consider self-care. Self-care isn't selfish. It's not about indulgence or laziness. It's about recognizing that you too have needs, and it's not only okay to meet those needs, it's essential. Self-care can take many forms. It might mean ensuring you get enough sleep, eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, or taking time for activities that you enjoy. It might mean saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that energize and inspire you. Setting boundaries is another crucial aspect of self-love. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not about keeping people out. They're about defining the space where you begin and end, about understanding what's okay and what's not okay for you. Setting boundaries means recognizing that your time, your energy, your well-being are valuable. It means not letting others overstep or take advantage of you. It means standing up for yourself even when it's uncomfortable. Fostering positive self-talk is also a key practice. The way we talk to ourselves matters. If we're constantly telling ourselves we're not good enough, we're going to believe it. But if we can learn to speak to ourselves with kindness, with compassion, with love, we can change our whole perspective. We can start to see ourselves as worthy, as valuable, as deserving of love and respect. Practicing self-love also means forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. We all have regrets. But dwelling on these mistakes, beating ourselves up over them, doesn't serve us. It's important to acknowledge our mistakes, learn from them, and then let them go. Self-love means giving ourselves the same grace, the same forgiveness that we'd give to a loved one. Finally, understand that self-love is a journey, not a destination. It's not something you achieve and then it's done. It's a continual process, a daily practice. It's about making the choice each and every day to love and respect yourself. So cultivate mindfulness. Take care of yourself. Set boundaries. Foster positive self-talk. Forgive yourself. And remember, each day is a new opportunity to practice self-love. There's a quote by Buddha that says, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. So give yourself that love, that affection, you're worth it." Remember, self-love is a journey, not a destination, it's a daily practice. So keep practicing. And in the process, you'll discover a love that's profound, transformative, and incredibly powerful. You'll discover the love you have for yourself. Let's recap what we've learned about self-love. We started with the question of self-love, highlighting its importance in our lives. Remember, self-love isn't about being self-centered or narcissistic, it's about acknowledging your self-worth and treating yourself with kindness. It's about recognizing your own needs and taking steps to meet them. It's about setting boundaries and protecting yourself from harm. We then shared a story that painted a vivid picture of how the lack of self-love can impact our lives while showing how transformative loving oneself can be. It's a journey, not an overnight change, but the rewards are immeasurable. Next, we delved into the science behind self-love. We learned that self-love is more than just a feel-good concept. It's backed by research and has real, tangible benefits. It can improve our physical, mental, and emotional health, enhance our relationships, and even boost our productivity and creativity. Then, we explored how to cultivate self-love. We discussed various strategies, from practicing self-care and mindfulness to challenging negative self-talk, setting healthy boundaries, and seeking professional help when needed. It's a continuous and rewarding process that requires patience and dedication. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's that self-love isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not something you should feel guilty about prioritizing. On the contrary, it's a vital part of living a happy, fulfilling life. Now the ball is in your court. It's time to put these insights into action and embark on your journey to self-love. Remember, the path may not always be easy, but every step you take towards loving yourself is a step towards a better, happier, and more fulfilling life. Before we end, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button to stay updated with more insightful content. Remember, the journey to self-love starts with you.